Right. Hi, I'm Claudia Alick, and I would like to share with you the poem written by all of the people, well, a lot of the people at the National Poetry Slam. So on August 13th, I went to the orientation table and I had somebody start this poem. I think it was the Slam Master from Orlando. And then we just went on from there, right? And I have been collecting these lines from these amazing poets at slams, at workshops, at the open mics, in the lobbies, on the street. And, you know, if the Poetry Slam has been this exercise in sharing our crafted, gorgeous ideas, this poem is a little bit like getting to sample the collective unconscious of everybody. It was created in exquisite corpse style, but I'm not prescriptive, so every once in a while, folks got to see the entire page. And it is past midnight now. The finals are done, and I promised to type this up, but it's long, because I've been collecting it for about a week. So I thought I would record it so y'all could hear it. Your poem, National Poetry Slam, 2018. Please forgive me if there's handwriting that I mangle. National Poetry Slam, 2018. My arrival is announced in verse, with pauses, with you can't, with this verse is not yours or mine. We wait until the weight becomes heavy. Anticipation fills the moment. The moment fills anticipation. I can see clearly. My vision has been blurry for a while. My mouth wants to fill with bile, trial and error. Breathe and move steadily. Chest drops quickly but rises heavily. I try to pick it up because I didn't get the memo. They wished they could smell the lucky charms in life when the milk seems to wash everything away. When your favorite cereal bowl won't scrub clean and your brain is little more than mama's porridge. Chicago's wind speaks louder than any poetry scene. You can't change the wind, but you can always adjust your sails. When the water turns weapon and tries to make life give a death, don't surrender your breath. Take it back with hands often and open, and challenge God to a slap boxing exhibition with your tongue. Dear wordsmiths, don't call it change if the world is the same before you opened your mouth, dropping ceilings like old was out of date, and resisting stillness like your mother demanded. C-A-F-D. And then the kid dropped the beat. Right onto the salad. And the rhyme became a cluster of stars, a constellation of joy, whispers, and raindrops connecting dreams, an ode to the person inside of me. The whisper person, dropping connections through static air, grinned mysteriously until I arrived to the party with open thighs, a huge heart, and a welcome mind. Every part of me ready for the night. I became a window for what's to come, a fragile glass square that's never afraid to break, but become the softest swallowed syllable of myself. The silent wisp of me that I never speak aloud. Bless every low chance taken, or hope, even in the face of sure failure. Bless every surety inverted successfully. Take the hands you have been given, handshake the world, and hold it together. You are always a new beginning waiting. There are only rewards given to the risk takers, and failure is a dove to the future, a trial run for hands unfolded. I found a love letter written in red lipstick on the bathroom mirror. I kissed each word and found paradise in the texture of the glass against my lips. I tasted meaning for the first time. I savored every moment. This mouth keeps me here, and the truth echoes in the back of my throat. I do not emerge unscathed, but bruised with harsh reality, pulled out like tonsils. All I want is ice cream and another chance to edit this messed up dream. Can you see me? Can you really see me in this vodka sip spit ice clink? Sunlight shines through the window of her plastic Aldous bag. This is about being extraordinarily ordinary. This is about rising above. I never mind being lost unless I'm late or scared. You will learn something. You will be valued above all thought. This is about choice, or at the very least, the illusion of it. Let's build a mystery. Or remember the one branded onto our bones. They dissolved when we weren't looking and left us alone. The sugary salt water drowning the back of their throats was bittersweet exhilaration, a reminder that they are still alive to pound through the streets in a cacophony of laughs thrown from mouths like confetti, gasping for gas, breathing for death's sake, masking the fire that clothes us all. We are now naked, bare. We have left behind the burdens which bind, our shadows cast upon the earth, create an impression never felt, yet seen. Hell's gate open and drop my burdens there, lost in the wealth of disgust, helpless until I'm saved by my own regrets, regrets that shall not define all that I am or shall be, burdens no longer on my back, for I lay them down as I breathe in freedom. Freedom forged in a future of a promise. I promised myself success. I owe it to my past. These words are all I have left. Just because I'm a queen without a crown, it doesn't make me any less royal. It's wonderful how you can outgrow your environment. Sometimes. And sometimes it's like a jungle. We often wrap ourselves in the vines and the rivers of its complexities. Our voices, a cotton whisper, and a consistent clang, soothing and alarming. We are all things. The echo in our hearts demands a response from our tongues. With our words, we climb the rungs, out of deception, abandoning the illusion for reality's conception. We are a purposed sacrifice, a true definition of fire and ice. We do our best to live and or survive. We do our best to remain unmovable. We are all crazy and beautiful, but mostly crazy. Mostly weird science. There's no explanation or reason, just uninhibited beings. And ain't that what we all trying to be? Free and honest and free. Chains hanging on the walls of the temples we built, captive in a place called home. Rome, built on the backs of chattel. Dismantle human spirit. That song in the key of life. We can no longer hear it. So we dress it up, lines cut short to make our words digestible. As poets, we say things that might sound suggestible, words that echo through your fingertips while the pain still lingers on your lips. The very same words your grandmothers hushed and fathers pounded onto the kitchen table when all we ever meant to do was whisper something beautiful on a cloudy day. But the clouds refuse to let us speak. They will not budge, and we will not be silent. Bear a symphony on our breastbones before we will need to bury them. And what are feet, if not shoes for bone? What are bones, if not socks for marrow? And what is marrow, if not sock filling? What are socks, if not prosthetic feet? What are feet, if not a flesh river to float upon? What is a river, if not an uncongealed highway, staying high while all riding, roving, and moving, staying beside in tandem with the flowing and proving of parts devoid of poetry? We fill space like molasses, drip, dripping, sweetness in the hope it fills that empty. Ma says, self-care and self-destruction blur from time to time. Love yourself, and when you can't, accept the love of friends. Love your cracks, your zits, and those voices in your head that never let you forget them. From your to Harry and that fetish you want tomorrow about love, the thing tomorrow ever will. These imperfections are constellations. This body, the night sky. Your body is a map to freedom, the key to your door opening up to everything. Fantastic. A pimple started growing on my chin yesterday. I'm trying to just think of it as a very localized blush. But it's the result of an entire system of systems looking out for each other. We are each other looking for systems to unravel strand by strand. These kinky twists of my past that lead me to the future that knew me before, I dreamed it before my eyes could touch the reality of letting a future go that would keep me drowned in my past. Inhale the past for future generations, then wait to exhale in great detail. If the Holy Grail is drained, the angels have adopted blood. Blood as red as brick and as hard as truth. Sacred heart pierced with poisoned tongue. Red rose slapped against the face. He promised me it wouldn't happen again, and I believed him. The way you believe the outcome of a tape can be reversed by rewatching it. A tragedy can be transformed into inspiration, or you can let your blood sing like Jesus. Jesus, the way he whispered his threats into my ear, but made me feel like it was for my best interest. I realized he was always meant to be an abuser, but I still recognized it as love. But I knew that love was a myth every time we exchanged a kiss without my consent. Every chamber is a chamber of secrets, no Potter. Just potholes and Glock holes and pain, and Tupac knows where the cops go and use their power to stop growth. Black joy, weapons out, shit that we don't speak about. Terror has mouths sewn shut, stuffing a statistic in a grave. Disguised as a black boy, we reverse the photosynthesis and make martyrs more the miracles. Plant humans in dirt and grow nigger fields. Everything returns to the earth, but our spirits will always be infant for dirt. I imagine my funeral will be a garden where people will come to pick the things they need and leave the rotten things behind in the compost where they belong, ready to supply to new life, ready to cultivate fresh new things. I imagine my funeral a kickback, a turn-up, a hood scene with Biggie and Pac in attendance. And in comes God and all the ancestors. And they teach me how to explode on beat. And now I, constellation, all constellation and astral breath, explode like a rhythm in the cosmos. I feel big. I feel eternal, like every wind beneath the sails. Like the wind has become my breath. Air circles inside my lungs, filling me with one element I always seem to drown in. Myself. And there was breakfast. And my head stayed on the whole night. And my heart stayed on the whole night. My soul strapped the beats. I decided that my soul was too rhythmic, beating like a dam. This oppressive heart. So glad I know being black ain't telling white folk how bad they be, sad they be, mad they be, that I dance in spite. And could we love each other harder than this? We could spend all day in bed again, forgetting to eat. Comfort in hearing your story, your pain, knowing I am not hurting alone. Pain in hearing your story, your pain, learning that another knows this hurt. Hurt reminds me that I am alive. But who wants to be alive just to hurt? So I turn pain into joy through writing. Thank you, poetry, for being my self-care as I tear my skin bare to show my bones. It feels good to know that when I feel pain, I am not alone. It feels good to know that when I feel pain, it means I am still capable of feeling anything or nothing, because that is the only thing that lasts forever. And my vibrator's battery, when I'm not using it, I came twice. And the third, God gave me my body back. I went bounding, surrounding life, found freedom in participating in its gifts, not an absence of ourselves, but living fully, in between, above and below, trying to be invisible but not see-through, knowing we are both fully human and divine. People, put your shopping carts away. It means more than you might think, because you still hold a heart. We're still here. But my heart is taking a back seat to my mind, leaping over bucket seats to feel the think of my blood blooming into flowers and sprouting up my throat. These thorns, these thorns scratch my throat, but allow us all to bloom. I cough up all my bad days and collect them in my palms, wash them in the sink. Why doesn't life have a dishwasher? Because it's messy, and I could use some help. Finding a way to define my mind, finding a way to define the complexity of the human experience, of cuter escapes than hating myself or trying not to. I'm bad at putting things on paper, but we are all wonderful at existing together, learning from the compassion we find between every side event and passing compliment. Words packaged in a lead casing, fired, piercing, landing in deadly beauty like falling stars, reminding us that even motes of dust or pebbles can be beautiful in the right light. Appreciation is understanding others through their eyes and souls, but sacrifice is killing your ego to see the innermost beauty of the man in the mirror, to articulate the senses experience that may cost you your life. And this mirror can be your best friend. Even when it's your worst enemy, it will always love you. Accept it and love it back. And there is love, whether you let it in or not. The wind finds a way to kiss your skin. The ocean will help you find it again. And saying yes more can end in a sunrise at the docks. Can't I be a boat and a body, save your life and the likeness of mine, drown where I said I would, call myself my own God, call myself my own savior, my own lover, call myself what they refuse to see me as, here and alive? I don't know what to say, and I'm disappointed because I usually have too fucking much to say. That memories never fade away. They last forever. Let them know who you are. Be a constellation, not just a star. Every poet is a sacrificial poet. First of all, you don't get to feel any type of way about my blackness. I want to talk about black joy without it being sacrifice, without it being a radical art, without it being a radical act. Every femme deserves to be heard, and I can't wait for the day when I don't have to fight to be on the mic. When I can't find the words, I create some. So, a lampetora is a word about having fun. Creatorationing. Creatorationing is what we use instead of a gun. And out, cheat over there is how you better run. Joy is a thing that does not die. No one can kill it. They can only force it to wear a costume. So cunning you won't recognize it. But it recognizes you, and it comes for you indeed. Sees the perseverance in your posture, a beautiful aura of a many-faced smile, opening its pearl mouth all torrential and raucous, swallowing you whole. It consumes you when your mouth is too busy stretching across this orbit. You are joy. There is something powerful and beautiful about a chorus of united voices, and yet I can't help feel I'm drowning in possibilities and each of magic and heat of my own glory and love for what is myself, hate for what I don't love in myself, and praise for all the beauty that carries our words. Thank you, National Poetry Slam community. Wow, that was like 20 minutes long. It's going to take me a long time to type that. But so many different intersecting themes. I sensed that the sections that were referencing food were the pieces of the poem that I gathered around the buffet. Thank you, Urban Encounter. That free food was awesome. Anyway, promise to type this up. Thank you for your poem. And leave a comment if you're one of the humans who actually listened to this entire poem. It was rather beautiful and excellent and epic. And it's been a similar type experience being here at the Nationals.